I'm Thomas Mosley, senior liberal studies major. Um, my experience at A&T was brief because I've only been here for a year. But I can really tell you what I know based off just the year that I've been here, and then also based off of the previous school I was at, which was Tennessee State, another HBCU. As far as HBCUs goes, North Carolina A&T is really like one of the top ones as far as like funding. I definitely remember first getting here and realizing how much different and how much more the school actually had as far as facilities, as far as, you know, just simple departments, housing. Housing was a lot better. There were like many, like at TSU, we only had at the rooms were two people to a room. In some of these, even in the dorms and then, but definitely in the apartments, they're all like there are a few single rooms in the dorms. So that's definitely something that's way different. COVID kind of did affect the school. Didn't give you a chance to like a full experience. We didn't have homecoming, but definitely a nicer campus. Definitely, people were pretty quiet, but also, COVID, like I said. Um, Athletics programs definitely more funded. I remember in my old school, I had to like steal to get stuff like this. That we were just getting, the first day we get a bunch of gear. Um, what else? It's definitely a lot. There are more parties, I'll say. There are definitely a lot more parties. Women to men ratio. It looks like it's more women, but it also is a bigger campus, so I kind of expect that. But yeah, in general, it was just like a very different experience. There's so many, like, there are other schools close. But as far as like, it's normally like at some HBCUs, like at Tennessee State, it was almost like people didn't know about Tennessee State. They knew about in Nashville, there was Vanderbilt, Belmont, and like Nashville State, which was downtown. And those were like the neighboring schools. And there were a lot of white people who just didn't know those schools. But that's not the case around here. Around here is just as equal. Like you got UNCG, High Point. There are definitely like there's a greater atmosphere of people knowing A&T, and that's definitely different. I actually went to a restaurant today and somebody knew, like somebody gave me some free stuff. Like, I mean, it was just sauce, but it was free sauce because, I mean, normally you got to pay for it just because I had on A&T gear. So, that was different. What else? I mean, most HBCUs, people don't know this, but a lot of HBCUs, most of them are in the hood. So, yeah, I've experienced a few things. There was a shooting over here in the beginning of the year. But to be honest, it was nothing new to me because Tennessee State was in the hood too. The only difference was Tennessee State was more roped off. Like there was like a big difference. Like there was way more security. This is a pretty open campus. Like you can get on campus for the most part. You don't really need an ID, but at TSU you needed an ID. Like you would not get on campus if you didn't have an ID. Everything was gated all the way around. There was you couldn't hop the fence, nothing like that. Facilities are way better. That just goes for all of them. Sports wise, trainers are way different. It's more like there was no health center at TSU. There was like an infirmary really, where there was like a doctor's office where it was like in a building. You go in the office, it's pretty small. You can get a prescription, but you have to go outside and get it. There's no like prescription where you can get it at that health center. So like the health center here is way bigger. And that just shows like based off the money. But yeah, the school definitely is pretty up there as far as like HBCUs and funding. Like I don't think people here really recognize because they're so, I think they're more in try. I mean, some people have never went to another school before. I have, so I have a different experience. I've seen like, kind of get it out the mud mentality where it's like you just happy to have what you have, and then you come here and it look like it's really the gravy train. I mean, you got folks complaining about stuff, and you like, man, you don't understand. Like, it's just a blessing to get this stuff. Like, the apartments here are way better. I came in, I remember just looking at the carpet, and I was like, wow. Because the apartments at TSU, no carpet. It's like almost like a like a bathroom floor, really. You go in the bathroom, it's like a wooden floor. I ain't never seen nothing like that. So, and the washer, ain't no washer. Like, nobody has their own individual washer or their own refrigerator, really. Stuff like that. So, I mean, really the simple things. But overall, it was very good. I met a lot of people that I'll still call like lifetime friends, I believe. Um, Great experience as an HBCU. I kind of wish I did go here like 3 years ago. I wish I would have made my decision to come here because it's definitely funner. And I think ANC has definitely grown over the past 4 years since I've been in school because I think people will probably recognize that the funding has gone up. I mean, because it's a state school now. It wasn't before, but now that it's a state school, it has a lot more money. But yeah, that's my overall experience. I really did love the campus life. Went on there when I could, got food and everything. But yeah, people in general are pretty nice. It's definitely a party school, you can tell. Even without homecoming, there was just parties all the time. But yeah, that's all I really have. So.